Knight obviously has way more room to carry this game.
We are going to see the Ornn as the final pick here for Xiaobai. So very much a similar composition, honestly, coming out from eStar, where you've still got this Sett mid, you've still got an AP carry from the jungle from Wei, you've still got Wink on a somewhat long-range AD carry that he can poke away on and follow up with all-ins. And we still have like a good amount of serious pick potential on the side of eStar.
That's the thing is, I actually think it is like very similar. The fact that you also have a winning bot lane matchup, right? The Lux should do quite well into the Nautilus issues. You know, you rack up levels, you can't start whittling them down. Going to set up Wei in the jungle quite well. Fun. Again, going to ignore Azir in the mid lane. Then we're going to start seeing these aggressive skirmishes around bot side, which is very reminiscent to Spring eStar, where they were extremely successful.
I feel like eStar, even if they haven't had that great performance across the course of this split, I just love that they have their own style.
Yep.
I love teams that draft the way that they want to draft, pick champions that they're good at, make their own style, and make their own little corner of the LPL. Same story for WE. That's the reason I fell in love with WE in the very first place. And it feels like eStar have, over the course of this split, really like dug out that niche for themselves.
It's funny too because it's actually very reminiscent to WE's playstyle, right? We have the Ekko coming out, we have an AD mid laner, which is meant for supporting the jungler, and it could make sense, right? As we've seen Crying leave the roster, then bring in Fenfen to be more of a supportive mid laner, and their star player all split long has been Wei. Even early on the split when ShiauC was slumping, Wei was the one performing. It's great to see, and we also know, you know, eStar aren't going to play around top side. Xiaobai is a very limited champion pool. They are mostly tank champions. It is quite well on them.
He certainly does. Xiaobai, I mean, when you think about Xiaobai coming into the LPL, like, it was all about the Ornn. It was even about the Maokai, if you remember, up in the top lane. So, very much a tank player to his core. So, let's get on to Summoner's Rift then for game number 2. And let's see what Top Esports have up their sleeves here, because they have got to get a win. A win here guarantees, or at least a win in this series, guarantees them top 3 in the LPL moving into playoffs. But if they lose here, it's possible for them to get overtaken by teams like, for example, Suning.
Yeah, definitely, and we do see the Colonel's opinion, and I agree, right? We already talked about how Top Esports have a bit of a more early-centered composition coming out with the Nidalee, Renekton, and the Ashe. And even this Azir, we see Knight opting into lethal tempo, which signals to me, right, he knows he's not going to be poking out Fenfen in the laning phase, not going for that comet. Lethal tempo does give way more control over the lane and being able to push, right, with that attack speed that you get, and going to do much better in these kind of set team fights later in the game. So I think this was a good choice coming out from Knight.
I love that we have double Dark Harvest in the jungle as well. It's like these guys want to snowball. These guys want to get some early kills, get some early stacks, and really deal out a lot of damage later on. You mentioned it in the draft. This Dark Harvest Ekko, very much a call out to Beisheng on WE, who he was playing this all over the place in Spring, having great success with it as well. And let's bear in mind, Beisheng is the jungler that knocked eStar out of playoffs back in Spring, and it was using this Ekko pick.
Definitely was, and it's great to see the adaptation. The Nidalee one is more interesting to me, that we've seen most pros and even people in solo queue going with Dark Harvest lately rather than the Electrocute, signaling they do want to, you know, start that snowball on. And we've already talked about how much more damage it can give you later on in the game. Of course, Electrocute does give you more immediate damage early on in the game.
And once again, we're looking at this Lux in the bottom lane. It's a lot of lane presence, but also going with the Aftershock this time, not the Guardian, so get a lot of tanky stats when you do land that light binding, and it could help if yuyanjia does find that all-in opportunity.
Yep, great for all-ins, great at also countering ganks, right? You throw out the CC, you get the Aftershock, gives you the safety to walk away with all the resistances you do have. So I do like it. We also saw, I pointed this out, I think it was Tucson picked it up in the LCK when we saw him pick up the champion, so I like it. I like eStar's draft once again. It's very interesting. I want to see if Top Esports can get this rolling. They obviously have push in the top and mid lane, so you would expect some heavy aggression to come out from Karsa on that half of the map. As always, their bot lane, I'd say, is very, like, at 6, it's just assured kill pressure, to where early on, you can still look for it. If you can set the Lux behind, that's massive, because then it does become hard to overextend in lane. But it is obviously relying on you hitting that dredge line with yuyanjia. Or I guess you could even just flash and, you know, hit your passive as well, but that shouldn't just be as easy as I just said it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, when it comes down to execution, it's never that simple. It's never as easy as that, which is what eStar were thinking in game number 1, but it did seem to be as easy as that. They did seem to just land every single binding, follow up, and get easy kills. So maybe it is as easy as that in this series, at least. Wei moving towards the mid lane here, trying to get on towards Knight, who seems aware of the situation, hovering towards the top side where Karsa is on the Scuttle Crab right now.
He's just doing a great job. Like, even if he doesn't exactly know where Wei is, he knows 90% probability that Wei is towards the bot side. His jungler's right above him himself, so great job hovering. eStar clearing out vision, trying to put a bit of threat onto top eSport spot lane.
Oh, this is nice coming out from yuyanjia, punishing ShiauC, trying to bait with the ward. And yuyanjia does have to flash. Obviously, Wei was off to the side. And now JackeyLove stepping quite far forward here, trying to get damage out. He's just sacrificed his own life. At least there's an answer from yuyanjia, but JackeyLove, that was just terrible.
Yeah, that was massive. And the play from ShiauC was so beautiful to see the flash binding, but let's go down in the end.
And, you know, this comes from a place of love. I love top esports. I want them to succeed, but this kind of play is just not going to cut it. Xiaobai dodging everything for now. 369 gets the stun onto him under the tower here. Just gets out with his life.
Yeah, Xiaobai missing the headbutt as well, but hey, Knight had the TP, so it doesn't feel like it mattered anyway, even had you been able to knock a few members of top esports up. So nice execution coming from them. And the great thing is, since JackeyLove has TP, even though he went down, so you'd be like, oh, well, AD carry went down, so eStar overall still were the ones who benefit. Guess what? He didn't miss any CS or XP, so they're going to feel fine overall in the bot lane.
Yeah, all things considered, top esports actually trading positively because it did go 1-for-1 in the end.
And this was so nice because this was a definite bait from ShiauC to walk forward to force this trade, and they do get the flash shot, so overall this was a win, but they turn around, they realize JackeyLove, hey, JackeyLove aggressively stepping forward. As always, Exhaust comes out. Nice flash bind coming in, but, you know, great Dredgeline coming out from yuyanjia to at least pick up something in return.
I don't know what he expected. Like, there are 3 of them there. There is CC there. He didn't even get a chance to flash.
Earlier in the day, me and Munchos were talking about top esports problems, and that this is one of them, right? That all of their lanes do like to play aggressive, and it sets up very easy to punish them on one side of the map, and typically top esports are bad at reacting. And, you know, Munchos was like, oh, hey, that sounds like a very easy problem to fix. Yeah. But I said, but we just don't see them fix it, right? We just keep seeing them going for a lot of these aggressive plays still, and...
Oh, no. Wei's moving over. He knows they're going to continue to play aggressive, and he is more than happy to punish them for it. He's going to be hanging around in the tri-brush, maybe look for a lane gank here. yuyanjia just goes wide.
Karsa is on the bot side as well, though.
Let's bear in mind, ShiauC is real good at baiting. We saw it in that last play. Got the binding, got the aftershock, and made sure that he couldn't go down when yuyanjia went in onto him. Karsa's moving over. Wei's already here.
Yep, so we see eStar going for this Fun is already making his way over as well, though. Knight doesn't have TP. Knight is putting pressure in mid, forcing him back. I mean, if top esports are able to, you know, hit a dredge line, I would expect him to come out ahead in the 3v3.
ShiauC stepping forwards here. Remember, with that aftershock, he is deceptively tanky. And top esports realize they can't go for that wing. Actually, he's forward, but he is winning this trade so damn well. It's usually JackeyLove on the Ezreal doing this, but he's getting a taste of his own medicine.
JackeyLove's eating every single skill shot. Overall, doesn't matter, though, because we saw Fun hover down, which allowed Knight to push out the wave, which gave them the pressure to secure the Drake. 369 is heading down as well, but I don't know. Feels a bit lucky for the side of top esports, honestly. I wouldn't say lucky, but I mean, JackeyLove should not be allowed to get away with this.
He can't keep getting away with this. I mean, he's not. He has died once this game already.
True.
And I'm anticipating that maybe we have a continued amount of presence towards that bottom side from Wei, but Crystalline Arrow has been grabbed, and that is going to be a nice, simple pick here for the side of top esports.
And that's what we talked about earlier, guys. At level 6, it just becomes such a guaranteed kill for TES. I mean, yuyanjia's not even level 6 yet, which is where it becomes even easier because you have point-and-click CC. So nice job by TES to recognize this, but in response, eStar already making their way to prep the Herald and steal away a blue buff.
Well, I was saying that he wasn't getting away with it, but I guess he is getting away with it. Because they are now winning the bottom lane. He'll be able to reset. He'll be able to grab himself a cutlass, I'd imagine. Or in fact, just boots and an extra longsword. And so now he can return to that lane. He's going to be feeling really good. And it's worth mentioning as well, tier 2 boots on Ashe feels really, really good because of the extra damage you get from your passive.
Yep, definitely does. I would agree with that. And You know, moving over to the other side of the map, we see yuyanjia pathing towards mid lane. They don't have any wards on top side, so I expect he wants to shadow with Karsa to help him secure that vision, you know, make sure that he doesn't face check like Wei and Fenfen.
So we kind of reset for a second here. Top Esports, though, this time around actually having a lead for themselves, having 2,000 gold, surprisingly, early on here. A bit of a bigger lead than you'd have expected, considering the amount of kills, but able to get some CS leads across the board, and importantly, Karsa getting some of this early gold, considering the fact that he's the one that ran this Dark Harvest in the jungle on the Nidalee as well. It was really important for him to get an early lead.
Yeah, he's doing a great job so far, right? We see a big part of their gold advantage is in the top lane, coming out from that dive where they killed Xiaobai, and obviously part of it being in the bot lane where they've picked up 2 kills onto ShiauC. So they're going to have this Rift Herald, which they can use to accelerate the game. I expect Karsa to start making his way bot now because it's very obvious that eStar is setting up this play.
It feels like every time we see someone set up, JackeyLove immediately steps forward to try and get a minion. He's going to be punished by losing his flash, but immediately they grab a kill onto Wei. Beautifully done there. Great arrow and great follow-up from yuyanjia.
Yeah, great response. And now, I mean, Karsa feeling no threat, just going to farm up his jungle. And I'm kind of surprised he didn't just turn to look mid, you know, drop Rift Herald instantly. Sure, the turret's not low at all, but even being able to start whittle that one down,
I think he wants to give the gold to JackeyLove.
That is what always happens, right? Even if Top Esports draft a comp that, you know, wants to split push for 369, get some gold on him, we talk about all the ways that it's so much better in mid lane. Top Esports almost always give Rift Herald to JackeyLove.
Oh, JackeyLove's been caught. The long-range damage. Oh, my goodness.
That was just not well played from eStar, though, right?
That was beautiful.
That was just ShiauC, you know, nice cheeky play coming from the brush.
It's such a nice combo as well. Like, you land the Light Vine, the damage comes out from ShiauC, Wink able to follow up with the ult, but then also getting in range to get that tip of the very range of the Q.
It's so funny how, like, truly JackeyLove has become, like, the Shy in the sense, even, like, other teams being like, hey, the way we beat Top Esports is camping bot. And we just see it done consistently now.
And we see it work consistently as well. We see him consistently step way too far forward. And at this point, it's kind of expected. If you're a Top Esports fan watching this game, this is kind of how you expect the bot lane to go, right? Maybe they'll make some great outplays, but ultimately JackeyLove is going to step too far forward. He's going to be punished.
I like that we see 369 going for the Blade of the Ruin King build rather than just going on Black Cleaver. So TS even very aware that, hey, like, we're playing to speed up this game. We're playing to snowball across the map. And actually, we're seeing something we talked about the opposite of. We said Karsa won't give 369, you know, the Rift Herald and set up these long side lanes when he wants to abuse that. This game, they're doing it.
Going to go for that. And I can understand why as well, because he's going for this Blade of the Ruin King. This also has a lot more significant side lane pressure than you'd usually see from this Renekton when we see the Black Cleaver build that we so often see in the top lane. And 369 has been winning out the matchup so far. You can expect him to keep that going.
Yeah, so I'm interested to see what 369 does now. We have Dragon coming up in 30 seconds. Does he just recall and start walking straight towards Drake? That's what I would expect from TS. You also have all your tools available, Enchanted Crystal Arrow, the Emperor's Divide, all up. So I definitely want to see TS go for this one.
Well, we're going to dive in the bottom side here. Facebreaker goes through. JackeyLove is already gone. yuyanjia will be the next one to fall as Fenfen doesn't quite get out with his life. But you know what? 2 for 1. eStar are happy to take that.
I also love how Fenfen just, like, casually walks in. Like, he doesn't, like, posture for a better angler. Nope, he just walks down. Once he's in range, uses the showstopper. Great job picking up both kills. And now eStar should be able to pick up this dragon. But Karsa, very sneaky.
Yeah, he would love to go for a steal here. It's going to be the same level as Wei. So in terms of smites, it's going to be an even one.
JackeyLove.
Maybe he can just go for Wink instead. The dragon goes down, looking for ShiauC here. Wink jumps away with his life. Karsa trying to finish off this kill. And they're going to be able to do it because 369's here as well. ShiauC over the wall, getting underneath the tower, but 369 ain't afraid of no tower. It's going to be bound, though. Maybe he needed to be afraid. Walks away with his life, but so does ShiauC.
Oh, but they're going to pick this one up, and I mean, ooh.
That's going to be an Ornn ultimate. Knocks up only Karsa. yuyanjia's here. Gets the CC down. They gift it over. No! Titan's Wrath got it with the dot, unfortunately for them. So JackeyLove playing support Ashe.
Really nice from TS to recognize, hey, you know, with JackeyLove going down, we ourselves cannot take this dragon. let's use it to find a better position to set up the fight. I mean, Karsa so sneaky, so patient waiting in that brush. We've talked about the utility the TP offers for AD carry. He gets the fight. 369 had already walked down here. And I mean, getting that nice injection of gold, TS are now 4K up at 13 minutes.
And you know what? I feel like this is a coming-of-age game for yuyanjia here, where he's one of the most criticized players on this roster. People often saying that he's the weak link. Now he's the carry. He's the one grabbing the gold. He's the one grabbing the kills. You love to see it. Now he's got a stone plate very early in the game.
Yeah, he's going to be extremely... I mean, if ShiauC hits him with the bind, it's going to do nothing, right? He's just going to be able to ignore all the bursts coming out. But this was what we talked about, right? Fenfen just casually strolling down towards the bot lane, uses the showstopper, gets on top of the TS bot lane, sadly isn't able to survive. I didn't see when ShiauC used the shield, probably used it right when the dive commenced, but regardless, Fenfen does go down. They do pick up 2 kills, but great job by TS to capitalize off that with the following skirmish.
So, another nice little play coming out from eStar, and they have been proactive. I've been enjoying watching eStar be this proactive team once more, and we usually expect eStar to be making things happen in the early game, right? This is how the team plays, but it's good to see them finding success against a team like Top Esports. However, Top Esports have had answers each time. Oh no, this is not the fight to start right here. Arrow goes through, but Wink is going to survive, and it's 2 versus 3 now. yuyanjia has the stone plate though, so he's tanky, and Wink goes down, flash forward. Coming out from JackeyLove, needs to figure out who to focus on this one. Fenfen beating him down, but yuyanjia gets the CC out. No way do they get away with this one. 2 versus 3, the lifesteal is there. Knight arrives to finish it off. Oh my days.
And this is what we talked about with how tanky yuyanjia is, because Fenfen was trying to set up for the perfect ultimate onto yuyanjia into the team. Couldn't find the angle. He realized too late, oh god, I might as well just ult JackeyLove. I'm going to slow down his 369.
I think I was going to say he's all right, but he re-engaged onto the fight here. Wei arrives, gets a shield. Karsa's off in the wings here. In the meantime, there are towers going down on the bottom side of the map.
I mean, overall, much better play coming out from TS this time around. And does feel like they went back to the break room. We saw in the... like on stage pre-game, how mad they looked, how frustrated. They're like, man, we need to win this series. Come back in, taking it, 200% serious. And, I mean, they've increased that 4K gold lead from 30 minutes ago all the way up to 6K.
And I think...
actually, 7K almost.
Yeah,
Jeez.
huge lead in favor of Top Esports here. And it's worth mentioning as well that, like... oh, hang on, I ain't got time here because Karsa's moving over the wall. He's going to face check into this one. Knocked up and should be taken down here, but surviving for now. Pounces away. But that's going to be a nice little kill coming the way of Xiaobai. 369 wants to answer. Chrono break back into the play from Wei. 369 completely alone. Doesn't have Dominus. There's a double kill now for Xiaobai.
And overall, just nice play coming out from eStar, right? Hiding in a brush, knowing that TS are going to look to play around this Renekton, because we already mentioned went to play the Rune King build, wants to abuse this long side lane, and giving Karsa and 369 no room to react.
And now Top Esports, they do respond with a tower in the mid lane, so they have now taken every single tier 1 tower of the game. Fenfen wants to contest this blue buff, but he stood on a ward. He doesn't realize it, but it's going to go down in favor of Knight. The Conquering Stance is too much, and now he's just discovered that was warded. Haymaker can't even be used because he went into his ultimate animation, so it just gets taken down.
He went in by himself, so...
hey, he was doing his Peanut impression.
Yeah.
Game 1 of the day. Sett in the jungle, walking in on his own.
And ShiauC just casually strolling across river when they have no vision of anyone from Top Esports. Well, it happens. Hey, yeah. JackeyLove, OP player of the game.
I can get behind that. Kind of. JackeyLove has been the best and worst player of this game so far, simultaneously.
I feel like maybe I'd say Karsa or Knight so far.
Isn't that just
Karsa?
Isn't that just exactly how JackeyLove plays, though?
Yes.
Like, his lows are really low, but he plays on that knife's edge of, like, if it goes badly, it's going to go really bad. But if it goes well, it's going to be a highlight play. It's going to be a montage play. It's going to be a montage for Wei here as he's forced to flash out.
Actually, maybe the yuyanjia.
Yeah.
The thing about their bot lane is, right, they've just done such a good job at countering and surviving the ganks and dives eStar have done. It's not even like TS were starting a lot of these bot lane skirmishes. It was always eStar.
So maybe they're not the Shy of the bottom lane. Maybe they're the Gimgoon of the bottom lane, where it's all about just surviving this laning phase,
Maybe
where
it's like
everyone's going to gank you over and over and over and over again.
I mean, I guess when they win, it is like the Gimgoon. And when they just kind of feed crazily, it's like, you know, the early summer split the Shy. Not Current the Shy. Current the Shy is awesome.
Current the Shy is doing pretty well. Current the Shy has discovered that he has a minimap, and if you place wards, you get to see champions before they're in the lane.
He also discovered Mordekaiser.
That's true, which does help. He learned that one from Gimgoon.
And we're seeing Top Esports do a great job, right, pushing the mid lane. They have Enchanted Crystal Arrow up again, so they're going to do a great job of trying to set up for picks in eStar topside jungle. It's going to allow 369 a great job of dealing with this lane. And even bottom side, right? They'd already had the bottom lane pushed in, so Fenfen is left dealing with that.
See ShiauC trying to find a bind here. Herald goes down in the mid lane. And I'm not going to lie, Lyric, this is looking like the opposite of Game 1, basically, where Top Esports are absolutely dominating right now. Look at the gold lead at the top of the screen. Almost 8,000. Xiaobai, nice little sidestep on the arrow. He'll walk away with his life, but...
Still, nice map movement from Top Esports. Drop Herald, you know, get turned in mid lane, use that tempo, move up the top side, look to set up this Enchanted Crystal Arrow play. Still, nice charge by Xiaobai, but it's nice to see TS come together so well, not only in individual mechanics, but also with their map play.
Lyric, it's 20 seconds until Baron spawns on the map. Everybody is over there for Top Esports right now. They've got Azir and Ashe. Okay, they are going to recall. But JackeyLove has TP, actually. Knight hasn't recalled. They could go for a cheeky Baron rush, and I wouldn't put it past them.
I mean, that's what Top Esports is known for in my mind. Again, ooh, Knight? Okay.
Unlucky ult. He did flash away, so... It's just going to be ult for flash here. 369 pulling everyone to the bottom side of the map. But you can see Top Esports on the minimap. They're going to respond to this. They're not going to just try and go for the risky Baron play. They are going to...
Yes, they are. Pings are coming down, Munch.
Oh, wait. I take it back. I take it all back. They are going to do exactly what I said before. I should have stuck to my guns on this one.
Fenfen has no TP, though. So, at worst, this is a 5v4.
There's vision of this, though. Or at least there was vision of this. eStar know it's going down. The question to me is, can eStar do anything about it? Wink uses that arcane shift to keep himself safe. Clearing the vision. ShiauC with a bit of a weird laser. JackeyLove has found Fenfen, who is just not tanky enough yet. Stun going to come through from a second here from 369. It's a little early, so he doesn't get rid of the shield, but they're still going to take him down. And this is what the Baron was really for. They're not even actually looking for the Baron. They're just looking for the fight.
Yeah, they can keep going, right? They have Ashe, they have Nidalee, and they have Azir. They have great siege potential. This is definitely going to go down.
Yeah, this is going to be an inhib for sure. This is going to maybe be more off the back of that as well. Karsa heals himself up. Wei, with the parallel convergence, I don't know if you can ever really go in onto that one, though. This is the thing about running this Dark Harvest Ekko. If you don't get ahead early on, you're probably never getting ahead.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's like you mentioned, right? They still have the Nautilus ultimate. They still have the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Had any member of eStar walked even a step too far forward, they'll just instantly get CC'd and bursted down by the side of TS. So eStar now trying to use the window off of TS now having to reset to secure some vision for themselves.
So reset now, as you mentioned, for Top Esports. Next Drake coming up in a minute and 15, but we've also got a Baron coming up. Oh, the Baron's already up. And we have a very similar win ratio chart coming out from the Colonel. Kentucky Fried chart.
Honestly, at this point, eStar need to keep making those plays like we saw on topside, right, where Wei and Xiaobai were waiting in the brush to set up these kills. But at the same time, right, it is dependent on, you know, and like in that situation, right, what if Karsa didn't decide to come top in that situation? Well, you know, nothing would happen. So eStar do not have the priority to dictate the pace of the game. It is very reliant on what Top Esports choose to do. And for TS, I honestly would like to see them default back to trying to force the Baron. The thing, though, right now is we don't actually have any TP plays available, so it'd have to be something like setting up a slow push bot and then trying to force a fight, but it does look like they're just going to default to playing for the Dragon, which is up in 20 seconds.
Well, Knight, importantly, has a Dark Seal in his inventory with 7 stacks, and as I say that, it's upgraded into the Magi's. This is what we know Knight for. He loves to go for the Magi Soul Stealer. And with 5 seconds left, this Ocean Drake is going to spawn onto the map. Top Esports running towards mid lane for now, rather than towards this Drake.
Yeah, eStar can probably just burn it down in time.
We'll have to see. Knights on the wings, does have his Emperor's Divide available. Karsa going to throw his spear in. Dragon is taken by eStar. This should be able to just walk away, but 369 looks like he wants to try and force a play off the back of this one.
Ooh, Karsa as well.
I think with the True Shot Barrage
Oh,
through.
we see pinks coming down for the Baron, and there are super minions pushing the base. So I think TS are just going to commit to Baron.
Yeah, and they have a wave in the bottom lane as well. So there's basically no answer here from eStar aside from just run and try and contest. But these supers with another wave on the way. Actually, the wave has been proxied by Wink, so they've dealt with the next wave. The supers shouldn't be able to take a tower by themselves here. The Xiaobai checking in, tries to use that Call of the Forge Guard, but no dice. It's going to be Knight. Bound up, but he's fine. Jumps back into the pit, and the Baron starts again. Rinse and repeat here for top esports. With the Nidalee, they have a good amount of sustain. And yuyanjia will look for a hook, will look for an engage. But even if it doesn't happen, they can commit to this Baron.
I mean, red side, Ezreal and Lux is so good up against the Baron, right? You can safely throw a poke from your own jungle. And even Wei would have a fine time trying to go in for a potential steal because he's not Ezreal, I'm sorry, he's Ekko and has that ultimate to get out of there safely.
So we do see the reset here from top esports. They're going to take away the red buff. JackeyLove taking a bit of a controversial route there. Fenfen maybe could have found him if he'd gone a bit more aggressive. Knight going to be DPS and over the wall. Can always slide over as well if he needs to. JackeyLove he's not even needed for the DPS. Knight jumps away. You got a little too excited there because he's playing Azir, so he's fine. That's just going to be a pick onto Wink instead. And 369 is on a flank. The light binding, though. Nice play from ShiauC to get rid of the blast cone as well, but he's out of mana.
I mean, when that root came down and all of eStar were there, I'm like, oh god,
yeah,
it's going to happen. This is going to be the throw.
Nope. Top esports, feeling pretty good.
I mean,
they're just going to rinse and repeat.
Let's also repeat the gold. This is an 11K gold lead for TS. Like, honestly, this game's over. This would be insane for eStar to be able to come back.
Well, we are going to go back for the fight once more. Knight moves in as well. Karsa's left alone on the Baron. That's a kill going on to Fenfen. Top esports are just farming eStar for gold in this jungle right now. It's so long since they reset last, and they can just keep going.
Yeah, they can just keep. And I mean,
this is kind of hilarious.
Their Baron is insane, right? We already talked about lethal tempo Azir. We have the Ashe coming out as well. I guess he's not really using the lethal tempo on the Baron.
JackeyLove flashes the light bind, trying to get a kill onto xiauC. He's actually killed himself there. That was hilarious. Now 369 getting onto the rest of the squad. Wink going to be stunned up. Conqueror proc. 369 doesn't have flash, though. Wink can kite this one out, potentially. 369 realizes it. Oh, JackeyLove. He's always just going to do JackeyLove things, isn't he?
Yes, he will. The IG will never be out of JackeyLove.
You can take the JackeyLove out of IG. You can't take the IG out of JackeyLove. You know what? I love it. I wouldn't have this team any other way.
Okay, let's see if yuyanjia ends up walking by him. Nope, gonna commit to going down the mid lane. And I mean, that was such a weird 3 minutes. It was probably even longer than 3 minutes, honestly, to where, like you said, we just bait Baron. The members of eStar run in one by one, which they need to, right? They're just trying to get vision on Baron to make sure that top esports can't do it. But TS are so far ahead, they realize, hey, we're just going to keep picking you off.
I figured it out. The reason that they're doing that and not heavily committing to the Baron, not heavily committing to following up on the kills is Knight needs to get more stacks on his Majais. It all makes sense now.
Typical top esports play. Actually, JackeyLove, 34% of the team's damage this game. Even 369 is pretty insane. 29%.
Yeah. And considering that's with a Nidalee jungle that has Dark Harvest as well.
And with Knight on Azir.
Yeah. eStar will survive for now, but that's a nice little knock up there onto JackeyLove. And that's all it is. There's no follow-up. Now yuyanjia on the backside. He's already got his stone plate, as we mentioned earlier. He can tank this for days. In goes everyone. Knight with a huge ulti. Shurima says hello, and Wei trying to finish off the support, but he's not the ideal target. Wei has to kind of break out. Knight's going to follow him and finish off another kill. 24-7 the action here, and it's the same for the scoreline.
And eStar pissed off top esports. Again, 28-minute win coming in from them, taking this very seriously, and we're going to a Game 3. Still, though, I mean, anything can happen.
Yeah, I mean, just thank God for top esports here, because, like, if they had lost this series 2-0 in the way that they lost Game 1, they would have been looking so terrible for playoffs. It's good that at least they can have this win. At least they can look dominant once again. We need to see a second game exactly